Lawrence, your box arrived, so let's go ahead and get you opened up here so we can see what we've got. Should be two watches. Pretty sure. Okay, so let's see what we have. All right, here's your 6309. Great looking watch, of course. I think it is a donor watch. Let's make sure we got it here. Probably a silver wave, I'm assuming. Yes. 6306. Also very good looking watch in its own way. All right. So you wanted to go ahead and swap the movement so you can do an upgraded 6309 with a 6306 hacking movement, and I want to check here to see what we have for you do have a kanji day on the 6306. Okay, well, this should be fairly straightforward. I don't see why this would be a problem. Good. Okay, so that's all of our correspondence to date. Excellent. All right, well, let's see what we got. Let's take a quick look at your movements here. We're going to see what we can see. Just to go through everything. Oh, that needs a case machine to take that off. All right, so this should be fairly easy. Let's check the state of the movement that we're going to actually do the service on, and the movement as it sits looks very clean. Most of these silver waves are just really great watches to begin with. Yeah, I don't see anything that stands out automatically. It's a little dirty, a little hazy. My biggest concern is the state of the balance and the hairspring. It looks like you have some power, but not a lot of movement in the All right, so your movement's not necessarily moving, but that's okay. I think that's most likely due to issues of lubrication. A lot of times these things get gummy over the years, and lubrication gets sticky. Let's see if just for checking whether you have a service mark or anything in the back. No service markings. Okay, well, we know where we're starting from, that's for sure. It is hacking, so let's see if it's a hacking issue rather than a movement issue. Okay, so no. All right. Well, we will do what we can for sure to make sure that this movement is in good shape as we begin. But as far as the swap goes, that's an easy thing to do. I'm unsure if you want to actually do the swap back to put the 6309 movement into the silver wave, or whether or not you want me to just send you back the components. I don't think that's what we discussed, which is fine. Yeah, donor watch. Serviced and installed, creating JDM version of the watch, right. 6306 will run and look fairly clean when I open the case. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. All right, so let's take a quick look at your 6309 just to make sure that we understand where we're starting from. I think that's always important to give a sense of condition and how I see things as arrived. You definitely have a crystal that's seen some wear, and your outer bezel, of course, has some loss of color and overall just use, but it looks honest. Your click is good, so you're clicking along. Your insert is misaligned, and I'm not sure why. It does look like your dial isn't quite aligned with your insert, in the sense that there's a notch that these things usually make contact with. But I don't know if you can see it here. There's a slight depression of the dial around the edge on the top, not so much on the bottom. So that indicates to me that the notch that's the corresponding notch that's in your chapter ring isn't quite aligned with your dial properly. But case threads, tube threads, it looks pretty good. 1, 2, 3-ish. So that's not bad. Right. So this is a Hong Kong made 6309. This is a 1985 case movement dial. And you can tell that from the fact that it doesn't say Japan on the back, and it also has this longer text here. So this movement and dial is Japan, but the case is Hong Kong, and that's what the dial says. So that's totally cool. I have almost the exact same watch as this, one of in my collection. Your insert is slightly out of a line with your dial, but there's not a whole lot to do about that. It's just going to be that way. But I want you to take note of that before we get too far in. Overall, really clean looking turtle. Good case lines, nice sharp edges here. Good transition between the polish and the brushed surface. So I think we're starting in a good place. I'm not too concerned about the state of your 6306. We'll get that up and running. So we'll leave all of the calendar components and everything the same. Everything will just swap right in. We'll just change the dial out and the hands, and we'll be good to go. I'll be returning the 6309 movement and the 6306 case in separate containers, so they'll be, or I can just put the dial and hands back onto this movement and just put that into this case, and that way everything's contained. So that's pretty straightforward. All right, well, Lawrence, we're going to get started here in a little while. I've got a couple watches that are ahead, and I'm almost done with those. So we'll get going as soon as possible and get you the combination you like. All right, thanks a lot.